also will discuss with the Prime Minister his thoughts on how we can lower the temperature between Israeli and Palestinians, how we can get back on a path towards peace, and how we can make sure that legitimate Palestinian aspirations are met through a political process, even as we make sure that Israel is able to secure itself.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The president with Benjamin Netanyahu, he was sitting there. They met today, and welcoming in we do Jonathan Tobin, senior editor for Commentary Magazine. Jonathan, welcome aboard. You know, Senator Grassley told me earlier that he believes that certainly the Prime Minister owes the American people and America a great amount, but he owes Obama nothing. And he thinks he should just wait until the next president comes in and basically, you know, start a relationship there.
Well, there's no doubt, Steve, that that's obviously what's on Netanyahu's mind. As much as the power imbalance between any president of the United States and any prime minister of Israel is great, the fact is Netanyahu, barring some cataclysmic occurrence that we don't know about, Netanyahu will be prime minister after Obama leaves office, and of course he's got to be thinking about who the next president will be. But in the meantime, he still has 15 months to live with Obama, and a lot of damage can be done even in that time. So it's obviously in his interest to try and at least paper over or give the appearance that the alliance has not completely been shattered by Obama. But there's more here at stake than what people are focusing on this morning. Because after all, everybody was talking this morning about the fact that they both seem to behave. It didn't dissolve as it has been in the past when White House photo ops have become mutual lectures and they start scowl at each other. This is more than body language we're talking about. We're talking about an alliance that has been really rocked by Obama's outreach to Iran, which has undermined Israel's security and that of the United States. But more importantly, from the moment he took office, Steve, Barack Obama's main objective in the Middle East was to create more daylight between the United States and Israel because he thought supposedly that would help create peace. But in fact, it's done just the opposite and undermined the cause of peace, been worse for everybody, and he bears some of the responsibility for a lot of the violence that has gone on there in these years.
Absolutely, by ignoring the Palestinian incitement and calling Mahmoud Abbas or Abu Mazen a man of peace, while state-run TV and textbooks and everything teach their kids to kill the Jew, is outrageous. And of course they put videos out on Fatah on how to stab the Jew, and I'm running right now. I want everybody to see. This was something that happened yesterday. A Palestinian woman, terrorist, talking to a police officer, and she pulls out a knife. She walks up to him very casually. We're seeing that, and she stands by him, and then she reaches into her purse, and boom, she pulls out a knife, and she tries to stab him. She lunges at him. I think he was hurt, but not seriously, thank goodness. But this is, this is the climate.
That's a key point about today's meeting, because Obama said some good things this morning. He said that Israel had not merely a right, but an obligation to defend itself, and he said he wanted to support the alliance. But what was missing from his formulation about trying to encourage peace was the fact that he never talked about what is the obstacle to peace. Number one, Palestinian intransigence and their continuing refusal to recognize the legitimacy of Israel, no matter where its borders would be drawn. And also the fact that the violence is being directly caused by that man that he called a champion of peace. And without that recognition, there's no reason to believe that the Palestinians will ever pay any attention to anything the United States says or does, and that the violence is being not merely encouraged, but in a sense facilitated by the direct refusal of the United States to acknowledge what's causing it.
No, absolutely right. And this stabbing is just another example, and thankfully, although you hate that it happened, it was caught on a very clear video, and you could see what the Israeli authorities and citizens are up against when a woman walks up to you and in Muslim garb, and she's talking to a police officer asking for help or of some sort of directions or whatever, and she, while he's looking down, she pulls out a knife and lunges at him, tries to kill him. I mean, you can't live with the people when that's their society and that's their goal, and it's worse with what they do with their kids, with the rock throw throwing the Molotov cocktails and becoming human targets and shields, and then Israel gets criticized. All right, listen, I always appreciate, Jonathan, your expertise on this matter, and thank you very much, sir.
Great to be with you, Steve.
All right, you too. All right, folks, up next is going to be Gimme 5, and watch this one. You're going to like it. Remember to tune in tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern for Newsmax TV special GOP debate coverage. And, of course, this will be a post-debate coverage. Dick Morris, Michael Savage, John Zogby, and many more will be joining us for a political analysis. And, of course, it's going to be a very interesting debate. Ben Carson will be in the spotlight, especially over his media scrutiny, let's just say. So it all happens 11 p.m. Eastern right here only on Newsmax Television.